The settlement of Drobysheve was under Russian occupation from spring to the end of September. During this time, the Russians have destroyed almost everything in the village. The first thing we saw was total destruction. Absolutely all institutions of culture, education, as well as houses of civilians were destroyed. You can see how the Russian invaders tried to plant their culture here, handed out newspapers from the so-called Donetsk People's Republic, and also tried to brainwash the Ukrainian population that they were no longer welcome in Ukraine. But this wasn't true. The Ukrainian army is already here. Before Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine, 2,500 people lived in Drobysheve. Today, only a little more than a third residents remain, and they recall the months of occupation with horror. Russia came to us on May the 15th. They shelled us non-stop from 7 to almost 3 o'clock. It was impossible to get out of here. And at 3 o'clock, the Russian occupiers already began to walk down the streets and enter the yards, opening the gates with their feet. When Ukraine entered, everything got back to normal. But our village was damaged, really damaged. Our house is destroyed as well as the summer kitchen, the main room and the cellar. Their shells hit the same place twice. Victor says that the Russian invaders stripped the men to the waist and tortured them.
The Russians stripped me to the waist and checked me, and my phone was also checked. They are worse than the Germans. Honestly, I am looking at this, and the Germans did not do it the way the Russians do. They did no damage to the house so harshly. The Germans, as my grandmother used to say, destroyed a house or two, but it wasn't such a mess. They passed us and moved on. But Russian invaders, they burn everything.
Now the village is gradually returning to its normal state. This is the 6th time in the last month and a half that the mobile branch of Ukrposhta, Ukrainian postal service, has come here. The employees bring pensions and other social benefits for locals. We issue pensions, subsidies, assistance, goods sold by Ukrposhta, parcels, utility bills. We replenish phones accounts, everything that the post office did. In addition to cash, the mobile post also brings a minimum set of products. Shops in Drobysheve do not function yet, so people sweep away everything. People were standing in the rain and immediately bought all the goods. People didn't even see regular food during the Russian occupation. Therefore, they are happy to have even canned food, cookies and sweets. They're just very happy. In addition, some products can be purchased from private carriers. One of them is this man. He brings bread from Svetohirsk. Serhiy came here for the first time since Russian occupation to see what condition his house is in.
It's impossible to live here. The Russians destroyed my house. I came here to see if there was anything to repair, but it is impossible. The Russian occupiers damaged everything.
And although everything acquired is destroyed, the man says that the main thing is that his family is safe. They will find where to spend the winter.
We'll stay here for a little longer. Maybe we'll bring something else here, clear the debris, clean the house up at some places, but it's impossible to restore it by winter, so that we could live here. So we'll go. My wife and I came, and the son came, but he's already left with his kids.
Today, residents of Drobysheve are recovering from the Russian occupation, trying to repair damaged houses, clear the rubble, and really hope that they will never have to experience something like this again. Reported by Dana Kolesnik, Anastasia Volkova, UATV News.